Hare Krishna. Start with prayers. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Kuri Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri La Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So we're having this session after a break of I think 2 weeks. So I think in the last session we had discussed that Ravana, he went to Ayodhya and he gave a strong battle to Anaranya, who was the forefathers of Lord Ramachandra. He fought with him, and finally Ravana defeated Anaranya, and Anaranya cursed that Ravana, you have insulted unnecessarily you have spoken bad words about my lineage, Ikshvaku dynasty. So he said that one day there will be a descendant from the same dynasty, Ikshvaku dynasty, who will take away your life. So, but Ravana, he didn't care about it. He was full of pride. So when a person is too much of proud, he will not see the mistakes that he's committing. So that's why one should know their roots and what they are. They should check themselves whenever their pride is increasing, material pride is increasing. They should check themselves. Otherwise, the one is bound to commit offenses. So after that, Anaranya, he went to heavens, and Rakshasa, then he proceeded from there. And he was going, Ravana was going to different places to conquer. So he was doing it on the planet Earth, on the earthly planet. So as he was going through the dense forest, he approached Narad Muni. So Narad Muni, he was already was full with effulgence. And he was he was not walking on the ground, he was a little above. So he spoke to Ravana that Ravana, just please wait. I'm very pleased with your very noble lineage, your valor and your energy. So as I'm satisfied when Vishnu killed the Daityas, similarly, I'm extremely content that you have afflicted and crushed eagles and serpents and various other Daityas in the battle. But I have something to tell you. So if you wish to listen, it is worth hearing. Listen to me. And after hearing it, it is for you to decide what's your next course of action should be. And you know that you cannot be killed by gods. So now Narada Muni says that why are you killing people on the earth? Because people on the earth are already under the subjugation of death. They will die. They have already been killed. Because most of them, they are very confused. Some people are like each person has a different objective. Some people are delighted in the musical instruments and dancing. Some others are miserable in music and dancing. And sometimes people are very happy. Sometimes they are very sad. Tears will be flowing from their eyes. So people are confused because of their affection towards their mothers, their fathers, sons, wives, loved ones. So all of these various problems are already destroying them. And they don't understand their own hardships, how they have come upon them. They are devastated because of their own confusion. So what is the point of causing them more suffering? And now there is no doubt that you have already conquered the world of all the men. There's no doubt about it. So when Narada Muni was speaking like this, Ravana, he bowed down to Narada. This is, oh my dear Maharshi, yes, whatever you said is indeed correct. So I will go to Rasatala. I'll go to the other planetary systems. Bhuloka is anyway, I'm done. So I'll go to other planetary systems. And maybe having conquered the 3 worlds, after conquering all the 3 worlds, I will bring the serpents and the demigods under my subjugation. And then I will churn the ocean, which is store of all the juices, and I will churn the, what is it, Amrita. You know that Amrit, the nectar had already been churned out of the Kshirodaka ocean. So he wants to again churn it. Someone great, if this is all the ignorance and the mode of passion and ignorance. When you're in mode of passion, you want to do something very passionate. In past, some great deed had happened. So similarly, he wants to imitate now the same thing. Because churning an ocean is not an easy job. So if he does the same thing, then he will be as equal as Lord Vishnu. Right? So he wants to prove all that. So then Narad Muni said, okay, if that is a path that you want to follow, then why do you want to follow any other path? And then he says, this path, the southern direction, it goes towards the city of Yamaraj. And because he said that he is going to, Ravana said that he's going to conquer all the 3 worlds. So Narad Muni says, okay, why take any other path? You directly conquer all the 3 worlds. Above worlds, anyway, you have conquered. Now the middle planetary systems you have conquered. Now you go to the lower planetary systems and you conquer them. In this way, actually, what Narada Muni is doing is he's saving all the unnecessary killings that are supposed to happen on Earth. So yesterday, if you see in the last session, when I said that Anaranya was defeated, Anaranya was Ikshvaku's, he was a forefathers of Lord Ramachandra. So he was defeated under Ravana. That is why when Dasharatha Maharaj, when he got to know from, this comes in the Balakanda, that when Vishwamitra came to take Rama and Lakshmana along with him, and when Vishwamitra explains that there are Marichi, Subahu, Tataka, these are all demons are disturbing us. Dasharatha Maharaj said, they are all Ravana's associates. I cannot stand in front of them. I'll get defeated. My whole army will get defeated in front of him. He said this. Why? Because of this. He knew that his forefathers have already tried. And he is much powerful. Anaranya was much powerful. Still he was defeated. So there is no way that Dasharatha could stand a chance in front of this. So Narada now, he wants to save all the lives on this planet Earth. So that's why he directed Dashanana. Why you want to go from each person to person? Directly, you try different low caste and you conquer them. So now Ravana says, yes, my dear Brahmana, I will head towards the southern direction and I'll kill the Vaivasvata. Vaivasvata, another name is because he's the son of Vivaswan. Uh, Vivaswan is Manu. So this Yamaraj, there's a Yamaraj is a post, okay? So that time the post was occupied by the son of Vivaswan. That's why it's called Vaivasvata. Okay, and he's a son of sun god. Yeah, that Yamaraj was son of sun god. Vaivasvata or Vivaswan is the sun god's name, Suryadev's name. So Surya Bhagavan is also a position. Every time a different person takes that post. So in this yuga, it is Vivaswan, who is the name of the Surya Dev is Vivaswan. Like when we say that, what's the name of the Prime Minister of India or the President of United States? When we say Narendra Modi or Joe Biden, like that. Here the sun, who is the name of Surya Dev? It is the Vivaswan. So now Ravana is saying that I will go and kill the Yamaraj. So he proceeded towards the city of the Yamaraj. Meanwhile, Narada was very intrigued. He is thinking, how can one cause any injury to the death? Because no one can stand in front of death. And Yamaraj is the chief for the personality of the death. So later I'll tell you, there's a personality of the death also. Okay, and he takes a form of pasha or the noose that Yamaraj uses to take the life out away from the bodies. So he was intrigued how one can cause injury to death. No one can cause. If the death personified touches, that person will die. How will he go and stand in front of the death? So he was very curious about it, and he went to Yamaraj directly. And at that time, Narada Muni saw that Agnidev was also there. So Yamaraj, he saw Narada Muni had arrived. He welcomed him with a seat, and he gave some washing feet and legs and gave some water to drink. And then he inquired, is everything well, my dear Muni, Rishi? Is all well? I hope Dharma is not suffering anywhere. So please let us know why you have come here. Then Narada Muni says, you see, there is a Rakshas, his name is Dashagriva or Ravana. He is extremely difficult to defeat. He's coming here and he's intending to use all his valor and energy to subjugate you, to put you under control. So that's why before even he could come, I came here and I gave this news. Because the speed of the yogis is compared to the speed of the mind. That is a speed. See, imagine right now we are all here in US, in Dallas, around Dallas area. To go to India, it will take how many hours? Maybe around 24 hours or 25 hours. But right now, staying here, you can think of India. You can travel. Your mind can travel as very fast. Your mind can take you to India, and you can think of various places that you have visited, all the experiences you had. But to actually go there, it will take time. But your mind has taken you there. That's why it is mentioned that whenever you think of going to the holy places, it is as equivalent as visiting the holy places. Someone has gone to Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, Dwaraka, Tirupati, all this Sri Rangam, these places. Someone is going, even if you think of going there, And meditating those places is as equivalent as visiting those places. So your mind is very fast, your mind can take it. So great rishis, they travel with the speed of the mind. And the boon that Hanuman got is that he's faster than the speed of the mind. Even Parashuram also. So that's when Narad Muni, he went ahead and he gave all the warning to Yamaraj. So by this time, what happened? The Rakshasa Vimana, the Pushpak Vimana in which Ravana was traveling, that could be seen. It's advancing through the sky. So from a distance, it could be seen. And that Pushpak Viman is driving away all the darkness, because by nature it has got all the effulgence. And as he approached the city of Yamaraj, then he saw that Ravana saw that all the bad karmic people, they're being punished. Those who committed wicked deeds, they're being slaughtered because of what they have done, what they themselves have done before. And those who are done good deeds, they are enjoying the fruits of that in the Pitraloka. And those who are done bad deeds, they are suffering. So what Ravana did, he immediately freed them. All of those people who were being slaughtered or cut into pieces, who were being punished, he freed them. And the punishers, who are all the servants of Yamaraj, the associates of Yamaraj, they became very angry. So they showered hundreds and thousands of spears, clubs, javelins, bludgeons, spikes, darts on the Pushpak Viman. And that started to shatter Pushpak Viman seats, mansions, platforms, gates, all that. But the Vimana has got its divine origin. And because of Brahma's energy, that was indestructible. So although it got shattered in the battle, it became whole again, whole piece again. So that was the uniqueness of Pushpak Viman. Even if it gets broken, it gets fixed back. It becomes one. Then there was a great battle that emerged between the advisors of Ravana and the servants of Yamaraj. And all their bodies, they were covered with blood. And Ravana also, he killed so many, or he, using various weapons, he targeted many servants or inhabitants of Yamaraj. So how much ever Yamaraj servants were throwing all these spears and clubs and all that, none of them could actually hurt Ravana. He was the most strongest person. And he, in turn, he showered back all those spears, maces, javelins, spikes, mountains and trees and other weapons. So they all counted this, all these things counted the weapons of Yamaraj's assistants. Hundreds and thousands of them were attacked. And one side there was only one, Ravana, and all the other sides, full, the entire army of Yamaraj was there. And later, after some time, all the assistants, they all surrounded Ravana and again started showering various weapons on him. And that broke the armor of Ravana. And Ravana became very angry. He became wet because of the blood that was flowing. And he abandoned Pushpaka Vimana, and now he stood on the ground. And he was holding the bow in his hand. And he affixed the Pashupatastra onto his bow. And Pashupatastra is one of the strongest military weapon in the Shastras, one of the strongest. So he released that Pashupatastra, and it was shot towards those enemy forces. And this energy consumed all the soldiers of Yamaraj. And all the soldiers, they fell down in the battle. And now Ravana was surrounded. Only Ravana was left along with his advisors and soldiers. That's all. And now Ravana, he made an extremely loud roar. And Yamaraj heard this. And he thought, yes, oh, looks like the enemy had been victorious. And his own forces had been destroyed. So he called his charioteer to bring his chariot. And he boarded the chariot. And he immediately mounted on. He mounted the chariot, and along with him, the Pasha. That means the death personified. The death personified is the noose. Basically, the noose is the one that catches hold of the soul, and it is a death personified. He is the one who resembles the noose, the Pasha, Yama Pasha. So even death was mounted in front of Yamaraj. So with a noose and with a club in his hands, Yamaraj, he proceeded towards Ravana to fight with him. So this death personified is nothing but Kaladanda. So when this was happening, the three worlds were terrified. The residents of heaven were trembling. They saw that the death was engaged in the battle, and that personification of death was very angry, and even Yamaraj was extremely angry. Nobody had seen this fierce form of Yamaraj at that time. So now the soldiers of Ravana, they saw it. They became extremely fearful. And they ran away, actually. They thought we are not capable of fighting, saying that they ran away from that battle. So Yama, he approached Ravana, and then a great clash emerged between Ravana and Yamaraj. Again, they showered spears, javelins, and all of them, they are piercing the inner organs of Ravana. But Ravana, he remained very steady. He released showers of arrows on Yamaraj's chariot. So, like that, both the parties were fighting for 7 days and 7 nights. And neither one of them was defeated. So it was continuing again. And then Ravana, he shot so many arrows from his bow. And finally, what he did, he struck Mrityu, the death personified. He struck him with 4 arrows. And he death personified, and Yamaraj also. And then the charioteer with 7 arrows. And he struck Yamaraj in the inner organs with 1,000 arrows. So Yamaraj became extremely angry, violent. Angry flames were coming from his mouth and his breath. The demigod, Danavas, and Rakshasa, they're all witnessing this extraordinary sight. Now the death personified became extremely angry. And he spoke to Yamaraj. My dear Yamaraj, please grant me this permission. Quickly you grant me, so that I can go and kill this enemy in the battle. Why you have to worry about him for so long? If I see, after seeing me, no one is capable of remaining alive, even for instant. That's not because of my strength. You see the humbleness of the death personified. He says it's not because of my strength. It is because of the importance that has been given to me. Energy was empowered. That power was empowered to me. So if I touch anyone, that person can no longer remain alive. So you grant me, I will go and touch him and come back. He'll die. But Dharmaraj said, no, I will kill him. But again, a great clash emerged that they all fought. Now Yamaraj, he thought, finally, let me release this noose, the Kaladanda. So Yamaraj touched the terrible Kaladanda with his hands. And when he touched all the creatures, every living entity, they fled away from the battlefield. And demigods, they were agitated. So as soon as he raised his Kaladanda, that Yamapasha, in the Ravana's direction, the grandfather, he showed up there immediately. Who's that grandfather? Brahma. Brahma. He showed up and he said, my dear Yamaraj, you have to withdraw this Kaladanda. Don't use it against this Ravana. I have granted him a boon. So you should not make the words of or make my boon as false. I have given the boon of this to this Mrityu also, to this Kaladanda, whomever he touches, this Kaladanda will take away his life. So both the boons I have given. If this Kaladanda touches him, then he will die. Either way, if he dies, then what happens? My boon will become false. If he does not die, then the boon I have given to Kaladanda becomes false. So it is better that you retreat, you withdraw your energy. Otherwise, there will be falsehood of my boons. So when Brahma spoke like that, Yamaraj said, sure, my dear Prapitamaha, that's Brahma, sure, I will withdraw this Kaladanda. You are like Lord Vishnu to us. But right now I'm engaged in this battle. What am I capable of doing now? This Rakshasa is very much protected because of his boon, and I cannot kill him. So what should I do? Then he gets the thought that he should disappear. And he thought, yes, if I disappear from this place, from the eyes of Rakshasa, it is like I have retreated or I've got destroyed. So as he was saying like that, Yamaraj, he vanished with his chariot and his horses. Then Ravana, he announced himself that he became very victorious. He was very cheerful and he left Yamalok on his Pushpaka Viman. And all the demigods and Brahma, they also left to their places to the upper planetary systems. So now what happened, you see, Dashagriva, he defeated Yama. and they're all returning to their place, Lanka. And all the advisors and the army, they also mounted on Pushpaka Viman, and they're returning. So as they were returning, they entered the Rasatala. So Rasatala is also a place where there are a lot of daityas, one kind of rakshasas, and there are many serpents in that loka. Many serpents. And Varuna is the demigod who is protecting that Rasatala loka. So there was a city in Rasatala. The name of the city is Bhogavati. And that Bhogavati is protected by the Vasuki. Bhogavati is the capital city of Nagas, of all the serpents, snakes. And Vasuki is one of the snakes. So Ravana, he went to that city, and Bhogavati was full of jewels. And he brought all the serpents under his subjugation. Now, Daityas, they also are known to be very great fighters. And this community of Daityas were known as Nevata Kavachas. And they also have obtained many boons. And they resided there. So now Ravana again, he went there and he challenged them in a battle. So Daityas were also very brave and full of strength. So again, a great fight emerged. And they fought with each other for more than 1 year. More than 1 year, you see. But none of them could defeat each other. Was either side getting destroyed. Again Brahma came, you see. Again Brahma came, and he told that to all the Daityas, especially the Devata Kavachas, he told to them that the demigods and asuras are incapable of defeating Ravana in a battle. So the best thing is, the idea of your friendship with this Rakshasa is good. So both of you become friends and be united. And you should be well-wishers for each other. So with the fire as the witness, Agni Sakshi, with the fire as the witness, Ravana, he contracted an alliance of friendship with Nivata Kavachas. And then they became happy, they honored each other, and they spent 1 year in bliss. 1 year they fought, and the next year they were in bliss. See, all this is happening, right? So you would have seen from last 3 classes that Ravana is going to so many places. And it's taking so many days and years, decades and decades are going away in the earth planetary time. So from there, now Dashanana, he goes to a city called Ashma, all in Rasatala only. Okay. Now this Ashma city was protected by Kalakeyas. So if you know Kalakeyas, one of the Kalakeyas is a group of people. One of the prince of them is basically married Shurpanakha. That is Ravana's sister. So this is a kingdom of brother-in-law of Ravana. So he went to Kalakeya, the place he conquered. He conquered that Ashma city in an instant, and he killed thousands of Daityas over there. So Shurpanaka's husband also got killed. Then Ravana, he went and he saw Varuna's divine abode in the Rasatala. It had a complexion of a white cloud, and it was stationed like a Kailasha mountain. In Rasatala, it was how it was like that. And he saw the cow named Surabhi there. And actually, this the milk, from Surabhi cows, it continuously flows from her udder. And that is a milk that gives rise to Kshiroda. There is a ocean, there's a planet with milk ocean, we say. Kshirodaka. Kshiroda. So how did the milk come there? It is from the udder of the Surabhi cow. So Ravana saw Surabhi cow there. Even Chandra, the moon, he gets all his energy from that Kshiroda. Even Fenapas, there are one kind of rishis. They get energy, they survive on the foam of that milk. So he saw them. Amrita was generated there. So Ravana, he circumambulated that Surabhi, and then he entered the terrible city of Varuna. And there he was protected with so many forces, Varuna Dev. Hundreds of different kinds of forces were there. He saw Varuna Dev's beautiful house. And as he saw, he started the war. He attacked and he killed the commander of the forces there. And then for the next, whoever is ahead, then he said, go and quickly tell the king that I have come. Ravana has come here, desiring to fight. You tell him, either you grant me a fight or you surrender to me. So this time, Varuna, when he heard, he became very angry. He came out with his sons and grandsons, and with Gau and Pushkara. Gau and Pushkara are the two names of Varuna's commanders. So all of them, they emerged, and they gave there was a terrible clash between Varuna's forces and Ravana's forces. But in a very short period, Ravana was immediately able to bring down all Varuna's forces in a very short time. And then Varuna's sons, they saw, then they shot so many arrows on Ravana. And Ravana was filled with different arrows, and his blood was oozing out. So he went inside Pushpak Viman. Meanwhile, what happened? Mahodara, Mahodara is one of the associates of Ravana. He saw how his king was suffering that way. And he saw that the horses of Varuna's son, they were like the wind. They could go anywhere, wherever they like. That was an instant. So Mahodara, he struck all the horses with his club, and he made them fall down on the ground. So he killed the horses of all Varuna's sons. Then Varuna's sons also abandoned the chariots. Then they went away. So again, a great battle emerged between Ravana, Mahodara, and other soldiers and of Varuna. Then but what happened here was, actually Varuna was not here when this battle was happening. So Varuna's sons and other commanders in chief, they came and they were fighting with Ravana. So Ravana found that Varuna is not coming. So he called for Prabhasa. Varuna's minister is Prabhasa. And he was also giving a battle. Then Prabhasa told to Ravana, see, this Varuna, he's gone to Brahma's abode, Brahmalok. But he is not here. He has gone there to spend some time. So why are you simply exerting yourself here? And you see the princes, they have already been defeated. Then Ravana felt, oh, okay, all right. That means I have already conquered this place. And anyway, Varuna is not here. So it'll be under my ruling. So now Ravana, he returned towards Lanka. But now you see what happens. As he is going towards the Lanka, he abducted the daughters. He kidnapped the daughters of royal sages, the demigods, the daughters of Gandharvas. Many beautiful women or maiden. He abducted them and put them in Pushpak Viman. Were they so easily able to get it? No. He killed their relatives. He killed the relatives of all those girls and women, and he placed all of them in his Pushpak Viman. So in this way, Ravana, he sees the daughters of serpents also, Nagas, Yakshas, men, Rakshasas, Daityas, Danavas, all that. And they were very extremely beautiful women. Extremely beautiful. And these women, some of them are married, some of them have sons also. So he abducted even the wives of great rishis, of great demigods. And these women are remembering their mothers, their fathers, brothers, sons, father-in-laws. And they all collectively, they're lamenting. They're thinking, what will my son do if I'm not there? What will my mother and brother, how will they live? What will I do without my husband? And they're all praying to the death that please take away my life. We don't want it to be abused by Ravana. And they're thinking, maybe in our previous lives, we have done some grave mistakes. Our sins, we have committed grave sins. That is the reason that we are all being oppressed in this way. And they're all thinking Ravana is very powerful, stronger than our relatives. How will this person die? They're all thinking. And they are saying because he has abducted so many women, because of what he has done to women, Ravana, he deserves to be killed. So Valmiki Maharshi writes here that because of the curses of the women, Ravana lost his energy and radiance, and his radiance was diminished. So now, as they were all lamenting like this in Pushpaka Viman, you see how many women, so many girls, women, married women, they were all lamenting in the Pushpak Viman. This is Ravana. And why did he bring them to here? Is to enjoy, to abuse, sexually abuse them and enjoy. This is Ravana. And now I'm hearing that there are some movies coming, based on Ravana being glorified, that he's a great person. So if anyone supports Ravana, that means that person is also supporting the activities of rape, activities of killings, killing of all the relatives of these women, killing of all the sages. In the previous class, you would have seen how Ravana was eating away the rishis who are in penance, killing them, brutal killing. So if anyone who is supporting Ravana, it means that they are supporting all of this. That's why they don't read what is there in Uttara Ramayana says, clearly what Ravana is. Otherwise, why does the Supreme Lord Rama have to come and kill him if he's not that evil? So anyways, so now Ravana, he came to Lanka along with all those women on his Pushpaka Viman. So when he returned, he saw that his sister, he came running and he fell down at his feet and he started lamenting. She started lamenting. She said, and Ravana said, "What happened? Why are you fallen like this? Please tell me quickly." Then Shurpanaka says that because of your strength, I have become a widow. See, because of your valor, all your power, the Daityas have been slain in the battle. And those Daityas were none other than Kalakeyas. They were very strong and brave. And I loved my husband. But at that time, because he was regarded as an enemy, he was killed. So when you killed a relation of mine, it is as if you have killed me also. So because of you, I have been forced to suffer as a widow now. You should have certainly protected your brother-in-law in the battle, but you have killed him. Are you not ashamed? Then Ravana said, "My dear child, my dear sister, don't be scared in any way. I will satisfy you with all honors and gifts." At that time, I was intoxicated in the battle. You see, in the battle, he's intoxicated with the wine and he's still able to fight. How powerful he must be. So he's telling, I was desiring some victory, so I shot arrows. In the heat of the battle, I did not distinguish who is the friend and who is the enemy. Otherwise, I would not have killed your your husband. So whatever is done, but I'll give you all comforts. You go and you reside with your brother Khara. I'll grant your brother Khara with 14,000 energetic Rakshasas. And Dushana also. Dushana will be the commander of the forces. So Khara, Dushana, and 14,000 Rakshasas, I order them that you all go to Dandaka forest, and Shurpanaka, you live with Kharadoshana. They will take care of all your needs. You don't worry. It's a very nice place for us, Rakshasas. And that is a place, Dandakaranya is a place where Sita, Rama, Lakshmana were residing in Panchavati Ashrama. And that is where the 14,000 Kharadoshanas, Shurpanaka nose got disfigured. And then Kharadoshanas, they all came and they fought a battle with Rama, and Rama killed all of them in 48 minutes. So these Kharadoshanas were given that place by Ravana. You go there, and Shurpanaka, you stay there. So Shurpanaka also, she also felt happy, and she lived there. So you see the mindset of Shurpanaka. Brother has killed her husband, and brother is giving a very nice sense gratificatory place, and she's happy. So even if she kill my husband, I don't care. Oh, you provide a nice house for me, nice vehicle, or nice sense gratificatory, anything, I'll be happy. This is Shurpanakha's mentality. So now Dashagriva, he was going, now he, after bestowing the Dandaka forest to Karadushanas, then he was going to the one of the, what do you call that, grooves, parks, or very auspicious parks in the Lanka. It's called Nikumbhila. So that place was filled with many yajnashalas, that means sacrificial arenas were there, and many sacrifices were going on. And he saw his son there. Who is the son? Meghanatha. Nada. Okay. Meghanatha was there. So Ravana saw and said, "Oh, my dear child, what are you doing here?" Then the Shukracharya, or the priest over there, he said, that, "O king, your son has performed 7 extremely difficult sacrifices. Agnishtoma, Ashvamedha, Bahusuvarnaka, Rajasuya Yajna, Gomedha, Vaishnava, all these sacrifices he has done. Now he is engaged in Maheshwara sacrifice, and which is very difficult to undertake. So he has taken this, and through these sacrifices, he got Pashupatastra, he got that. He obtained a divine chariot that can travel anywhere he wants. He obtained an illusory power named Tamasi, and that can create darkness, actually. So he used all this when there was a war between Rama and Ravana. He used all these powers. And the Brahmana explains he has got a quiver which is filled with inexhaustible arrows, and he's got a very powerful bow. He's got a powerful weapon that can crush the enemy in the battle. So your son has obtained all these various boons, my dear Ravana, and the sacrifice was completed today, and I was waiting for you here. Now Ravana is telling my dear son Meghanatha, so what a father will actually say, "Oh, very nice, we have got all these great boons and powers. I'm very happy." That's what a father should say. But what did he say? "My dear son, whatever you have done is not good." Why? Because when someone has to do a yajna, as part of the yajna process, they start worshipping all the demigods. So that's the same thing that even Meghanatha has done. So Ravana is saying, you have, as the object of worship, you have worshipped our enemies. So he was not happy. You worshipped Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all of them. But I have conquered all of them. But he says, whatever has been done is done. Now no one cannot undo it. So let's proceed towards our own residence. So with his son and with Vibhishana and Ravana, they left. Now the women were very distressed and they were weeping. They were, they descended from the Pushpaka Viman. And Valmiki Maharshi mentions that, just a moment. Yeah, now Valmiki Maharshi mentions that all of them were self-effulgent. Radiance was coming out of their bodies. Vibhishana saw all of these women who are overwhelmed with grief. And Vibhishana knows what his intentions are. So he addressed immediately, my dear brother, this kind of action, it destroys our fame, our prosperity, and our lineage. You killed their relatives and you abducted these beautiful women. And my dear king, this is exactly the way Madhu crossed you and abducted Kumbhinashi. Then Ravana replied, he's saying, I don't understand you. What did you say? Who is this Madhu? Kumbhinashi is a sister, okay? So sister of Ravana. Cousin sister comes. So Vibhishana, he says that whatever, instant karma, that principle, he said. See, whatever we are doing, it will also happen to us. So he says that, you see, our grandfather is Sumali. Okay. And our grandfather's elder brother is Malyavat. Okay. So that Malyavat's daughter is Kumbhinashi. That means his mother's sister. Sorry, I forgot. The Malyavat's daughter is Anala, and Anala's daughter is Kumbhinashi. So it's basically the cousin sisters. So Kumbhinashi is sister to us. So one day when you were all not here, because he was gone for years and years to conquer all the different planetary systems. Decades he was gone. So Vibhishana was telling that your son Meghanada, he was engaged in this sacrifice, and I was performing some austerities in the water. So he calculated the best of the times, and then he abducted Kumbhinashi. Although she was protected in your inner quarters, Madhu, he forcibly came and he abducted her. But when I heard this, and when I heard your actions also, I forgave him. I did not kill him. So it's like a karma. You are doing it to other people's sisters and daughters. This also will happen to us. For this now, Ravana, he becomes very angry. And he didn't even take rest. He immediately called for another chariot to get ready. And along with the Pushpak Viman and the army, they all went to the Madhupura. Okay. So it was mentioned that 4,000 Akshauhini Senas of Rakshasas proceeded. One Akshauhini has around 125,000 in number. In that, there will be 60,000 horses, cavalry, what's that? Horse soldiers, horse warriors. Then there'll be 21,000 chariot warriors. Then around 60,000 or 30,000 elephant warriors. Then there'll be 60,000 on foot warriors who fight on foot soldiers. So all these things are there. This together, it comes to around 125K or something around that. So 4,000 Akshauhinis. That means you imagine 125K into 4,000. That much of soldier with the army, he went to Madhupura. Madhupura is a place where Madhu is living. So there, Ravana, now this army, he didn't go alone. He took Ravana took Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana, and Meghanada, his son also. So everyone, they proceeded towards Madhupura. And when he entered, he did not see Madhu there, but he saw his sister. But she came and she fell at the feet of Ravana and said that, please forgive my husband, and I love him as dear as my life. So you please become friends. And then Ravana also agreed. Oh, she's my sister. She is, then she also goes inside, and Madhu was sleeping. So he said Ravana had come with this much army. So you please surrender unto him, and you make a friendship with him. So Madhu also, he came there, and he became friends with Ravana. Now, for some time, they lived in in Madhupur, and after that, they were returning back to Lanka. Okay, this is one last story with which I'll close. So when they were returning to Lanka, see, there is a reason why Vibhishana could not see such chaste women being abused. He cannot see them abused by his brother. Okay, so that's why Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam that if something bad is happening, one should come out of that assembly immediately. If he is there, he should be strong enough to avert the situation, or divert it, or control the situation. If he is not, he should come out of that situation. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it comes in 10th canto, 88th chapter, it comes. So similarly, even Vibhishana also, if you see that, that's why he left. He left the company of Ravana, and he joined Rama's army. And Vibhishana, no, he cannot make it happen. What is that? That abduction of, like, abusing those chaste women. He cannot allow his brother, but his brother will not listen to him. So he brought him here, just for diversion. Now you see what will happen. So so now they lived in Madhupur. Now on their return, they went to Kailasha. Kailasha was on the way. So they went to Kailasha mountain. So Kailasha, near the Kailasha, who was living, if you remember, it was Kubera. Kubera lives there on the northern side. So his kingdom was there. So they just set a camp outside that his city, and you see the mood of it's of that area, kindled the lust of Ravana. See, there was a radiance of the moon. He saw there are different qualities of trees there. There were grooves of divine karnikaras, and there were dense growth of kadamba trees. There were blooming lotuses, and in the waters of Mandakini river. He heard very sweet sounds of bells. Large number of apsaras, they were singing in that Kubera's abode. So it was very pleasant, very beautiful. See, the same place, what happens is, if it is a sage or great devotee, he would appreciate, he would think of the Lord, he would pray to the Lord. But the same place, what it did, it agitated the mind of Ravana. It made him to become more lusty. So he became very lusty, looking at all those nice things. It was so conducive for sex. That's all he thinks. So this is again the quality of demons. When there is a nice place, very pleasant place, and a person thinks of only of enjoying with the opposite partner, then it's as equivalent as the demon. Anyways, so he was, it's mentioned that, was that Kama, Kama, yeah. He was hit by the arrows of the Cupid. So when he was so lusty at that time, and divine Apsara, Rambha was going through that place. So immediately this Ravana, he became so lusty looking at her, he seized her, he caught her by his hand. And and then he smiles at her and he describes, "Oh, my dear lady, the one with beautiful hips, where are you going? What is the objective for you? No, you enjoy pleasure with me." So he describes the body of Rambha in a way that I cannot even explain here. He talks about the lips, the hips, the yoni, everything, like even the chest. So this is what he does even when he meets Sita Devi also in Aranya Kanda. He says the same thing. So when he sees a woman, all he thinks about is different body parts and how they can be used in satisfying him. But Rambha said, "My dear Ravana, I'm like your daughter-in-law. You cannot enjoy with me. It is very wrong. It's incorrect." Then Ravana said, "How is that possible? How are you only if you marry my son, you will become daughter-in-law. How is that you're my daughter-in-law?" Then Rambha says that, you see, your elder brother is Kuvera. His son is also your son. So Kuvera's son is Nalakubara. Nalakubara is one of the son of Kubera. So I have, once I saw him, I'm inflicted with lust to obtain him. And I have nicely decorated myself to present myself, to surrender to him and to become his wife. So please, excuse me and allow me to be with him. But Ravana, he did not even think about it. He says it doesn't bother. I don't care. And he raped her. Ravana raped Rambha. So she was in such a dilapidated condition after abuse that she finally, after the intercourse, she ran away from that place and she fell down in front of Nalakubara. She was in a very dilapidated condition. So Nalakubara asked, "What is this? What happened?" Then she explains everything. Then Nalakubara becomes very angry. He takes water from a pot. He goes up into the sky. He invokes the curse mantra into that water and he sprinkles on Ravana. The curse he inflicted is, he says, "Ravana, if you ever again enjoy another woman without her consent, your head will break into 1,000 pieces." Somewhere it is mentioned as 7 pieces, somewhere it's mentioned as 1,000 pieces. Basically, your head will explode into 1,000 pieces. And then he put those things, he sprinkled that onto the head of Ravana. So Ravana was shook. His hands, like his hair on his body, stood still. And at this time, all the demigods, they showered flower petals onto Nalakubara. And they sounded the drums. So you see the purpose of Vibhishana. Now he cannot all the sadhvis, sages, daughters and wives, then now he cannot enjoy them. Now he's very, very cautious. That's why he didn't proceed towards even Sita Mai. Always he used to say, if I want, I can abuse it now itself, but he never does. Because of this curse which he got it from Nalakubra. Okay, with this I'll stop. Any questions?